What up, ducks? Gonna be putting together a PC, Ryzen, with all of these components. And I thought I would show them off before I get the build going. These are what's gonna be in the new computer. Catch you during the build process. Before that, we have a ROG Strix B450F gaming motherboard. Up here and more fans to put in, approximately 4 32 gigabyte RAM sticks, 16 each, and the Ryzen 7 2700X CPU. We're also going to be using the Lian Li PC case. I also include in this build a 2080 Ti for the Win 3 Ultra edition. This card I got for $1,050 and it is like new, and it is going into the new PC. Catch you when we put that sucker in. First thing we're gonna do is put the motherboard ready. Take it out of the plastic. You could either do it over the box or over a anti-static mat, which I do have, but for now I'm just going to do it over the box. So you don't want to touch the important components. And here is the shot of the board. Next thing we're going to do is install the CPU right there. So give me a second to get that ready. Alright, I have the CPU right here. When you take it out the pack, grab it by the side. You can't touch this part or the back or you risk damage. So give me a second, get that ready. Alright, we're ready. So we're going to grab the CPU by its side, like so. And then we're going to match it with the small triangle in the lower left right there, and we're going to match that. At least we're going to put it here, so it should go in like this and it should fall into place. First we have to lift this latch up. Alright, I have the latch up. Now we're going to get the CPU right here and we're going to put it down like so. And that's that. It should just fall straight into place. Then we latch it back down. Done. CPU is installed. Next we need to get the cooler and put that on top. I have that in the box. I'll pull it out right now. Alright, I'm going to be using a stock cooler that came with the 2700X Ryzen 7. I have the cooler, the stock cooler, the Wraith Prism, and it is RGB'd right here. It comes with thermal paste pre-applied, and I'm gonna essentially put it on AMD logo upper left. So I'm gonna situate that like so. Hold on. That's a latch. I need to move that up like so. It was a bit tough to get on, but it's essentially installed on top of the CPU. This latch should connect to that, and the same with the back half. Back side, same deal. It's connected to the latch caught. But there you go. Next is to connect the fan. So we're gonna connect this to this one of these CPU fans. So it's either one of these. So I'm gonna go with the closest, well, the far one. So just gonna put this down here. That should get power to the CPU fan. And I'll put this in and I'll show you what it looks like after the fact. Alright, it is all hooked up right there. It's going nowhere. Next up, we are going to install the RAM, which is some G.Skill Ripjaws 32 gigabytes, 16 gigs each stick, and we will install those right into these 4 DIMM slots right there. Alright, I have one of the sticks and I will put it in, I will insert it into the A2 DIMM slot, which is the second one from the left, and I will do that with my right hand because it is my stronger one. So we gotta make sure that that notch in the middle matches where it goes down there. So let's go ahead and install it. Should be simple. It should be a simple click. All right, push it down and this should click. There you go. That's one installed. Let's get the next one. This is the DDR4 RAM. We're going to install the second RAM into the B2 DIMM slot. And we're going to push down until we hear a click. Done. We're going to push down on this side. On this particular motherboard, these don't click, flip up or anything, and those you'll just know. So, done. The 2 RAM sticks are now installed. Next up will be to put this entire motherboard into our case, and we will do that in a second. Alright, after like an hour or so later trying to figure out this case, this Lian Li, I now can place the motherboard inside, and they have to match up. This particular motherboard has 9 screw slots. Let me put it down for a second. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right here. So we have to essentially match those with these screw spots there. So I'm going to match it up like so. Something like that. So we have them all lined up. We have them all lined up on this right here. So I'm going to take the screws that came with the motherboard and screw them in. The case also came with some screws as well. I might just use these, but actually I will. So I will get those screws ready and catch you back in a second. Alright, now I have all the screws in place. Now I'm just gonna screw them all in. So we have one down there. No. This is why a magnetized screwdriver can be both a gift and a curse, because it can take it directly out of the freaking hole, just like that. But I'll be back when I screw all these in. Everything has been screwed in, all the screws, all 9 screws have been screwed in. Alright, we're back, and the next step is to install our power supply. I have here a Seasonic 650 watt power supply, and to do that in this case, it will go into this spot. So we would put it faced up, because in our case there is ventilation on the side. So we're going to install it like such. So first off, we need to lift it up and put it like that. Side view, you can see that it is pretty much in line, like so. Now all we need to do is screw that in, and I will do that in a second. The power supply is safely installed. It is secure. As you can see, all the screws are in. That one, and the one down. These right here. All good to go. And the next step in our PC building process is to hook up the hard drives. I have 3 hard drives. I'm going to start with the Adata 500 gigabyte SSD. And I also have 2 regular hard drives that I'm going to put in here as well. So I'm going to take this out the package and we're going to get started. And essentially, it's going to be put either here or here, depending on where I want it, and we'll get that going right now. In this particular case, we're going to have to take out a thumb screw, so I'm just going to install it on this first one right here. So I'm going to get our screwdriver and loosen that up so we can just take it out the rest of the way with our thumb. Done. Gonna leave that there and take it off right here. Then we essentially get the hard drive out of its case right here, and we set it like so. I essentially did it. I just put a screw on the top right and a screw on the bottom left, and that's pretty much all you need. It's still secure. Then we just put it back right so, and we just screw it back down with the thumb screw, and then that will be in place. Also, before I thumb screw it back in, I'm going to plug in this to power the hard drive while we have an output that's going to face this way. This end is going to face that way towards the motherboard, so I'm going to put that into this one right here. We're also going to need a SATA cable, which this motherboard came with, and we're going to plug that into the other spot right there in a bit. Alright, our SSD is secured. Cable managed through there, and there's a little hole down through there. It comes out the back. It's looking a mess back here, but we'll get it fixed. But SSD installed. Next is the hard drives, the regular. Next, I have a Barracuda Seagate 6TB hard drive, and that's just gonna go slot into this one of these drive bays. I just put it into the second one. I'm gonna do that. But the instructions were not clear. I had to take these screws and screw them into these 4 holes, but you only really need 2 to secure it, so I just did it diagonal. And we're gonna slide it, I think it's this way. Yeah. Done. And we're going to do the same thing for our other hard drive that I will unpackage in a second. Alright, here's our other hard drive. It's kind of new as well. It's supposed to be a white label. So it happens to be an Hitachi hard drive. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with this one. I'm going to take this caddy out, and we're going to screw it in to those 4. So I will do that in a second. Alright, our other drive is installed to the caddy, and we're just going to come on back and slide this one right into the drive bay as well. Done. All of our hard drives are installed at this point, but now we have to power them. So we're going to do the same thing we did with our SSD, and that is hook up the SATA and the power cables. Do that in a bit. Alright, we have both of our SATA cables hooked up to both of the hard drives. And that ends up into the SATA slots right here. Kind of hard to get a shot of it. Okay, right here. These into the SATA slots. On this motherboard, SATA slots are to the right, lower right-ish on the edge next to the DIMM RAM stick. All the hard drives are now powered up. Bam, bam. It's hard to see in there, but let's get a... So there you go. Alright, next up we're going to install our fans. I have 2 of these and 3 RGBs, so I'm going to put one up top, another at the bottom, and then an RGB in the middle, and go from there. But we install this, and we have the screws right here to do so. And basically, it should mount like such on the side, but we'll do that in a second. Alright, I have one of the fans installed right here. It's going nowhere. I'm going to put another one here, and then a RGB one in the middle, and see where it goes from there. I'll catch you when I get them all in place. Alright, have the 3 fans installed so far. Right there. Have 2 more to install though. The last 2 will go on the bottom. Alright, I have installed all the fans that I can for now. Got the SSD down there, the 2 RGBs, the 1 RGB in the middle up on the side, and the 2 regular ones on the end. Now all that's left to do is to get them powered, and we gotta put a Molex into our power supply. So we're gonna do that now. Well, I have at least one of the fans connected in the front, which happens to be this one, the middle one, and the back. Since these are all 3 pins, I couldn't really plug it into the motherboard, but we'll see what happens, if they even turn on or not when we power this sucker up for the first time. But all the fans are installed. What we have left is probably graphics card and some cable management. So catch you in a bit. Alright, now we have to route all of our connections for the CPU power, the 24 pin for the motherboard power, and everything else. So we need this. We need this one to power the motherboard itself up. And we need this for the graphics card whenever we get to putting that in. Alright, next I am going to install, I just installed the 24 pin, the CPU 8 pin upper left, and I routed the graphics card PCI cores through as a precursor, and now I'm gonna connect the USB 3, which powers one of these, and I'm gonna route that through right now. Alright, I have where it's going. and it is pretty much going to go right here. The JUSB 3, and it's in place, just snapped right there, pretty much next to the 24 pin on this case, well, on this motherboard. Get rid of that slack. Next, we want to install the HD audio cable, which powers the stuff in the audio, and that's gonna go down. It's hard to see, but I'll show you when I get it installed. Alright, it's pretty much installed right there. Alright. Next, you install the HD cable, HD audio, power LED, etc. Those would go down into there, but it's kind of hard to explain it. But there they are. The power LED goes on the top left two, plus and minus. Pretty much this is how it goes. This is how it should look. Shouts to this guy, TechSource. Shout out to this guy. Well, that's pretty much everything that can be hooked up, and now all we have to do is put our graphics card inside, and that'll be it. And we can power it up and see how it goes, and I'll let you know. I may not film that part, but that's pretty much how to build the PC from scratch. My very first time doing it, and this is pretty much the cable management I have for now. But let's get that graphics card in, and hopefully the fans and stuff will power on. Our goal is to put this massive beast in here. Can do that in a second. Alright, this is a pretty fat graphics card, so I need to take out 3 PCI brackets to get it in there. So depending on your card, that's what you may have to do. And then we're going to put it onto this PCI Express slot. The card is installed. There you go. Plenty of room. That's what it looks like on the side. And now we just screw it in, and that'll complete. First we'll have to actually put these in there, into these slots. Do that right now. Alright, the card is in nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. We actually have these plugged in. Here are the brackets. 2 screws is good enough, and that should be it. All that's left is to power the sucker on and see if everything turns on. This is the fans, etc. And I will let you know if that happened. But until then, I thank you for watching, and that's pretty much the build is complete. Next is to get an OS, an operating system, get Windows 10 on here, and get the drivers for the board, etc. Everything else, and that's pretty much it. You're good to go. But I'll let you know when that comes up. But for now, I'm going to take a break because it's been a few hours. Here's what it looks like powered up. It's a lot of air in here. Definitely Getting well ventilated. I'm gonna add another fan, 2 more fans up top, and another fan right here in the future. Only 1 fan is moving on the card itself, because of course it doesn't need 3 to do what it has to do for now. A few issues I had so far. On the side, the USBs would not work for me. I still don't know why, but I'm about to test that in a bit. But I just wanted to show you how this looks powered up. Not bad. Catch you in a bit.